good afternoon. It's now 3 o'clock on Tuesday the 25th of February. I'm Andy and this is my allotment. Right, well, I've not been down here for quite some time other than hurried visits because the weather's been lousy and there's just no daylight hours left, so this is really the first time I've had a chance to look at this in daylight for some time. I thought I'd come down and just check on the damage the winds have caused recently. We've been lucky here, we've not really had the floods that everybody else has had, but we have had lots of rain and we've had quite a bit of wind, but nothing like they've been having in the south. Polytunnel, as you can see, is still standing. The cover's come off it twice. It's gone all the way to the left hand side once, it's gone all the way to the back once. As you can see, it's not particularly stable at the moment, it's blowing around in the wind. The frame is slightly bent, but it's not irreparable. The main problem at the moment is that the broom poles I put into the ground at each of the legs to hold it, 4 of them are snapped. So I need to replace those with some more substantial ones. I got some from the pound shop before, they lasted a season, which is great, but I need to get something that lasts a bit longer, so I might spend a bit more money and get something proper. Give you a quick run around the allotment. So there's not a lot being done here, but there's still quite a bit in the ground, which is absolutely amazing me at the moment. This bed needs a lot of tidying up, but the perpetual spinach in the middle is doing fine, and behind that is the chard. This bed at the back there is more perpetual spinach and a forest of bamboo canes, all of which need to come out. At this end is the remains of the comfrey. Some green shoots of recovery in there. And that the green at that end is my walking onion, which is coming up nicely. I've fixed with the weather this has just collapsed completely, this frame. It was going anyway, it was needing replacing and repairing and needed recovering with some of the thicker green netting I've got. Still a couple of cabbages in there, looking a bit tatty, but the hearts are fine. We had one of those the other day, it's very nice, so I'll be using those. Underneath here, underneath the twigs, you can see our black currants, especially this big one here, that's looking really, really good. More black currants and gooseberries at this end, and lots of weeds. So again, a lot of weeding to do. Grapevine, not gone in the ground as yet because I've not had a chance to build the bed where it wants to go. And loads and loads of grass underneath it, all needs digging out. Strawberries behind it doing fine. These hanging baskets, some have got strawberries in, as you can see. The rest of them had tomatoes, which I will be replacing because they were good last year. Raspberries are doing absolutely wonderfully. Lots and lots of raspberry canes there. I need to get some stringing up, some poles and string some wires between them and get them all sorted out. Some of these I think are tayberries because they came very late and very, very large, but I'm not sure about that. The bed behind it with all the strawberries in, looking okay. Sage, mint, oregano and marjoram in there as well. Now my little lady gnome has been bleached by the sun. There she is. Zoom in on this. Lady gnome pole dancer. She's been bleached by the sun, she's just very white. It's more obvious on the back end, there's a bit more flash on the back end. As you can see, she's very white. Might be able to touch her up a little bit later with some paints before any of you snigger at that. Now amazingly, considering it's only February, the rhubarb is flying away. Especially that one, that's Victoria rhubarb. Not sure about the other two, but that was definitely Victoria. I've got stems on there which are 6-8 inches long already. So doing fantastic. Pond, as you would expect, is full to overflowing. Got a lot of work to do around there this year, just boxing it in and making it look good. So the polytunnel itself, there's no actual damage to the tunnel. The frame is slightly stretched, but that's nothing major. This just needs resetting when I've got a chance to get underneath it and to try and get this side fastened in underneath the decking or fastened to the decking, whichever works out to be the best way of doing it. I've got some industrial staples. I'll staple through the polytunnel material itself into the decking board at the side and hold it down. And a rather large number of strawberries. I went a bit mad potting up my strawberry runners last year, I think. Still, we've got a seed swap coming up soon, so I'll take a few down there and try and sell them, try and raise a bit of money for the community garden we're working with. Now, last year's mystery brassica. If you watched any of my films last year, you know that in this corner I had a huge brassica, which is absolutely gone like a tree, as you can see down there. It's now fallen over with the wind. I think looking at it, it's purple sprouting broccoli, but the birds are making short work of it. This was left out deliberately, because this was from 2 years ago, not even last year, and it was here to try and attract the cabbage whites and whatever, and it survived that, it survived everything, and I think even now this is going to survive even longer and get some broccoli heads on it. We shall see. Leeks doing strong, red currants, white currants, see how they survive this year. And then over here I've got my square foot gardening bed that I started back in August, September. Because we've not had a frost, everything survived. I've got loads of lettuce in there, I've got turnips, massive turnips, radishes, pak choi, fantastic pak choi under there if you can see that. They've been absolutely wonderful. I'm actually amazed that these have actually survived the winter, but it's been mild. And then in my brassica bed, I've about half a dozen red cabbages left. You can see them through there, like aliens on stalks. Very weird. A lot of stuff to tidy up, as you can see still. Water, bit wet and muddy between the shed and the polytunnel, and in front of the shed itself is quite muddy, quite boggy. This here is a pile that was manure, or is manure rather, that is distributing out when I build some more beds over here, but for the time being it's fine. The old beans need coming down. These should have been done a long time. I'm quite ashamed about that, to be honest. But they're going to come down. I'll dig this over. This is where my potatoes are going to go this year. I'm going to put potatoes in these two beds. Not quite as much space as I had last year, I don't think, but it'll do. I had a potato day recently which I went to and got some loads and loads of potatoes, and my seeds have arrived through the post. So I'll tag a video onto the end of this one showing you what I've got to plant for this year. Talk a little bit about the plans for this year. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Right folks, as everybody else has been showing what potatoes and seeds they've got for the year, I thought I'd do my bit as well. So we went to the Trafford Community Garden Centre the other day when they had a potato day. I got my potatoes. I've got plenty of them. Got some Red Duke of York and some Maris Bard, which are first earlies. I've got some Cara, Orla, Sarpo Mira and Pink Fir Apple, which are a mix of second earlies and main crop if I want them to be. While I was there, I also picked up some asparagus. This is Gidgeon Limb F1, God knows what that is, but these are crowns. I also picked up some Conifers Colossal Asparagus seeds. I got some artichoke seeds from Suffolk Home Herbs, so quite fancy artichokes. Some round crystal lemon cucumbers, and also some late season garlic, because I didn't plant any before the end of the season last time. Now I've also ordered seeds from two different places this year, only two. So start off with this first one, which is I think my favourite. These are from Real Seeds. As you can see, they come in plastic bags, loads and loads of seeds in there, and a little bit of information on the insert. What I also like is that they also send you through a little newsletter. It's got your order on the front, so you know exactly what you've got, what you've paid for, etc. It also charges you £1 to join the Season Seed Club, because as you know, or as you may not know actually, the EC are bringing in rulings where it's going to be illegal to distribute heritage seeds, etc., because they've got a problem with viruses and things like that, I believe. So by joining the seed, their seed club rather, it enables them to send these to you as a member of the club, and for £1 I think it's worth it. Anyway, they send you, as I say, a sheet with instructions of how to deal with all your seeds that you've got, which I think is fantastic. The seeds I've got this time, I've got some broccoli rabe, San Marzano, King of the North sweet bell pepper, hopefully that will grow because I'm in the north of England. Some tree cabbage. Now this one I quite fancy because it's got enormous leaves, almost like a kale, and it grows on a 3-foot stalk with a head on the end, so that should be quite interesting. Purple climbing beans, because last year I lost all my beans in the greenery of the leaves, and this year I want to find them, so I've got purple ones. Some pointy red sweet peppers, Napier. Manchester table carrot, again I'm in Manchester, these should do well, and I've got thousands of seeds, as you can see. Orange banana vine tomato, again something just a bit different. Some purple autumn cauliflower, again something different. Double standard bicolour sweet corn. Some dwarf French beans. Some bent neck squash, some crook neck bent neck squash, and some Romanesco cauliflower. And as I said, a whole lot of those seeds, there's lots there, came to £29 including post and package from the Real Seed Company. Now all those they've sent to me are not F1s, they're all heritage varieties, so you can collect your own seed, and I like that idea. F1s worry me slightly, but I still do grow some of them, but I try and not grow as many. Now the second seed company I bought from this year is Seeds of Italy. These have been recommended by Mark on the Learn How to Garden channel, because his opinion is that a lot of the Italian, we think of Italy as being a hot country, but a lot of where the growing is done is up in the hills in the mountains, and they're in pretty much the same climates as we are here in the north of England, so hopefully these will do well. So I've got some tomatoes, pomodoro, some large pomodoros, some vegetable spaghetti squash. Now tromba squash, now that's another one. That one, there's a courgette that grows up and these things hang down from it, which again I quite fancy the idea of. Red and green chicory, which I've never grown before. Some red tinged lettuce, Bisco Rossa, and some padron peppers. Now first time I had those was on holiday in one of the Spanish islands, off the coast of Africa, and they just simply grilled them with a little bit of olive oil and salt, and they're lovely. And every now and then there's one that blows your head off. They're all the rest are mild, but you can't tell which it is. So we call them Russian roulette peppers. So I'm going to give those a try. They also sent me a pack of concentrated fertiliser in the back, and also a moon phase calendar. So if you're going to be sowing by the moon, you've got a little calendar. That lot came to £14 including postage. So again, not spent a lot on seeds and seed potatoes. Oh, the potatoes, by the way, were between £1.70 and £2 a kilo, and I have 6 kilos there. So plenty of potatoes, garlic, asparagus, loads of seeds. What more can I ask for? Anyway, I'll be back with another video shortly to show you how I've got on with planting all of this stuff. Bye bye for now.